Hey everybody, it's Ron again at Becoming Enlightened Together. So I just posted the weekly read, which is Sunday all the way to the next Saturday per day, and today I'm focusing on Monday's read. So again, it doesn't matter what day of the week that you actually come across this reading. Whatever day that you watch this, that's when it was intended for you to watch this. There's going to be something, some part of it, and in rare cases, the whole thing may be for somebody out there, okay? But it's a collective reading, so keep that in mind and take only that which you feel pertains to you. You're practicing using your own intuition here. That's what part of this is, and I hope you will, you'll take this part of the journey on, as it will only edify you if you do so, make you more of a complete spiritual being. Okay. Now, the overall energy for the week is that of odorous in reverse. And again, that's kind of a nasty energy because ordinarily it talks about strength, vitality, the beacon, the light, knowing things and all that kind of stuff. With it in the reverse, it talks about quite the opposite. It talks about literally physical weakness, non-resilience, uh, lacking stamina, and non-growth or no growth, however you want to word it. Okay. So to break it down into further, words, it's somebody who is weak, possibly ill, maybe diagnosed with some type of a disease. Somebody who's weak-willed as well. Somebody who's obsessed. Somebody who misdirects their own force. Maybe they're a hothead, whatever the case may be, and they like to rule over every situation. So domination is also part of this energy. Ignorance is also part of it. Inconsistency, brutality and violence, rashness, callousness, difficulties in communication, and a possible separation of some kind, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a spouse or lover, whatever the case may be. All right. That is the overall encompassing energy. And the energy we pulled on Sunday for today is that of Ewas. And Ewas is in the upright. Okay. Now, Ewas in the upright is movement that works. It's not sudden change, not chaos. It's progress created through coordination and trust. It's sharing the load, so to speak. It's momentum built upon over time and progress through alignment, not dominance. You're not forcing it to happen, and you're working along together with somebody else, or perhaps a great many somebody else's, to achieve a certain task. So it talks about the horse and the rider, or horses and a carriage, how they have to all work together, or it's a very bumpy ride. So partnership and trust are a big part of that. Movement that works. Remember, it's positive movement, forward direction, evolution, maybe, again, changing of a location, possible vacation even, an ideal marriage. And it also confirms beyond doubt of the other runes around it. Okay, so the runes in this reading, in this particular case. Now, the present energy we got several times last week, and we just pulled it twice for this one reading. One, as in this case, in the upright, and it's Esau or Isa, okay, where it tells us that the wisest move to make is basically to do nothing except go within, seek your answers and clarity, and then trust your intuition. Okay, that's what it means in the upright. Other things it means is ice, stagnation, frozen, constraint, stillness, things of that nature. Okay, now that's the present energy. And this could be telling us we need to get out of that energy, okay, because we're going to see that here in a few minutes. But obstacles and challenges are that of Othala, and Othala is in the reverse as well as the overall energy of Urus. So Othala is basically ignoring one's heritage, in material and spiritual lineage, non-transforming. You're not doing what you are here to do for your ancestry, for breaking ancestral bonds, karma, things of that nature. You have decided to make this a lifetime vacation for yourself, so to speak, but it's not going to be a vacation much longer because of your bad decisions. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so stillness is part of this. As far as what Othala actually talks about is kind of the ancestral room, so to speak, and it's used in that capacity. You use that when speaking with your ancestors ceremonially or magically, whatever. So you're failing your ancestral mission duty in this particular case because it's in the reverse. You're ignoring your ancestral sacrifices, the sacrifices of all those who came before you to make it possible for you to be here today. All right? So recklessness, frustration, potential legal problems. We already saw that with the overall energy of the week with Tiwaz in the reverse. Talks about a defeat in legal matters for somebody. So this also refers to totalitarianism of some type and slavery, bondage, poverty, homelessness. Talks about bad karma, somebody prejudice, and somebody in bondage. So based on what we also saw for the overall weekly energy of the wrath of God and everything else, and partaking in taboo things and so on, it could be somebody that might be in need of an exorcism. And I say that, I say that literally as well as figuratively speaking. Somebody may need some serious spiritual work, cleansing. Right? So that's basically the obstacles and challenges. Okay, that's what somebody's going through. Now, your help and advice is telling you exactly the opposite of the past energy, or the energy that you are currently in, I should say, with I saw in the upright. Here we have I saw in the reverse. So where we were told that we're basically in the energy of doing nothing, and I say we, I mean that not quite literally, I mean that figuratively. This is very much speaking to somebody out there in very karmic or low vibrational energy. Okay? But if you want to get out of this, that means it's time to act. You've waited way too long, and the universe waits for nobody. Okay? And you have been given a tremendous amount of time, a lot of advanced warning. So right now, it looks like somebody is looked at as breaching their loyalty, the loyalty of what it was they were contracted to do, what they were expected to do in this life. They decided to not partake in that. It required too much work for them, apparently. Egomania is another big part of this energy. Blindness, treachery, illusions, deception. That can also mean self-deception, so be very careful. And I'm not judging you if you are in this low vibrational karmic energy. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm trying to give you what you need to hear if you take it for that, and possibly change things around, or at least to start that process. But betrayal is another part of this energy, as is guile and stealth, plans, plots, schemes. So even now, we know that this is the energy that somebody is coming at us with. They may come with smiles, they may come with all the kindest words that you can imagine, but behind that smile, behind those words, you have somebody who's very treacherous, and they are planning, plotting, and scheming to hold you back, and maybe even lower your vibrational energy to meet theirs. That keeps you from, fulfilling your mission in this life as well. So don't let them do it. I don't care how beguiling they are. I don't care how tempestuous they may, present themselves to you. Don't give in. Okay? Remember now, even Jesus himself, after his 40 days and nights in the wilderness, was tempted. So we all have to go through this, all of us. So this is a warning, okay? Now, in terms of your future outcome, we have is Pareto. And Pareto basically is movement with purpose, okay? It's an aligned journey, not wandering about or rushing in or inorderly progress. It's talking about order. It's talking about pacing yourself. And it's talking about the blessed journey. It's talking about traveling, not just in physical terms, but also in a spiritual or shamanic, implication or application. So what we're talking about here, again, is, riding, traveling, journeying, vacationing, relocating, taking right action, as well as the rhythms of life. Again, as I stated, for the overall weekly ride, we see that the wheel of fortune, so to speak, is now flipping around. So what was happening for the majority of the collective who were, as far as trying to understand this in your mind's eye, we're at the bottom of that wheel. We're the ones going through all of the trials and tribulations and tests and retests, learning our lessons and moving forward, and so on. And this was a many years long cycle that we are completing, and that door is closed for the karmics. They're going to have to repeat a cycle, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be much harder this time around. So they're going to experience everything you and I experienced. They may have thought, because they don't see what you're going through behind the scenes, everything just comes so easy for you. But they're going to find out that is not the case. You have to work for everything along the way, and you have to work 10 times harder because you are being tested, because you are deliberately having obstacles, including other people, brought into your life to test you, to try you, to make sure that indeed you are on the up and up with this journey. You mean business, in other words. And if you don't, then you're going to fall away as soon as things get tough. And I assure you, it's going to get tough for all of us. Most of us have experienced that nonstop. Some people have never experienced this really. They've had everything handed to them, and they're the first ones to point the finger at, you and I. Well, again, this is justice that's being instilled upon those who have chosen not to do the work. All right, so blessed journey is our outcome, and it could be the outcome of those in the karmic bill, should they actually decide to do the work this time around. But we are no longer compatible with them because we are now in a new energetic level. We are not at all syncing with them at all. Again, they're still at radio station 50 and you're at radio station 100 right now. So they're probably just going to end up falling off of and out of your life inevitably again. But you still have to get past this if you haven't already done so. And keep in mind, one of the things that may be indicated here is somebody's going to come at you from your past, trying to beguile you and everything else and convince you that they have changed and that they are, end all be all for your life. I mean, you'd be stupid not to be with them and blah, 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 blah. Don't let them gaslight you into missing your journey when you've come so far and gone through so much. Don't allow it. It's not worth it. And there's something so much better at the other end of that finish line. Okay, please believe that. All right. Well, with that being said, I wish every one of you, of course, out there, whether you're karmic or in the collective, victory. And yes, you and that lower vibrational energy, even though this has been pretty harsh over the last couple of weeks, as far as the information I've been belaying anyways, You can always turn things around right this moment if you make that decision to do so. But if you don't, it's going to become harder and harder and harder for you. So I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to be as honest with you as I can, as unsatisfying as that is at this point for me. But I hope it helps somebody out there. So again, stay victorious. God bless. And someday we'll probably all meet in Valhalla. Take care.